if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Open my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We're back with another Music Monday. On this Monday, man, y'all smash that like button, sub up to the channel if you're new, and if you haven't done so already, of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and what I normally do is make content about sneakers, occasional trial hauls. Y'all know this is Music Monday, where, of course, we just take a break from the sneaker content and just talk a little bit of like what's going on in the music world, because you know what pretty much triggered this whole pretty much, I guess you can say, Music Monday series that I started like a few years ago is pretty much how hip hop and sneakers kind of go hand in hand. So pretty much we will be talking, about that tonight. And of course, sign up for that sold out Discord. Link is pinned at the top of the chat and it's free to sign up. Or of course, we continue the sneaker talk, but we got a food section, a sports section, and of course a music section as well, man. So the main topics, man, pretty much, obviously, I gotta do the updates on the Diddy trial. Deliberations have started, but look like they've halted, so I'm gonna be covering that as well. Nicki Minaj speaks out on Rock Nations. I'm probably gonna start there first because I have my thoughts on this because I've been hearing bits and pieces, not just from Nicki Minaj, but just from several other music artists that say like, yo, Rock Nation's got like if you cross them, you'll never work again. This, and I don't know if it's true, right? But she sure feels some type of way, and she's always been vocal about it, for the longest. So I'm going to be covering that. And of course, Chris Brown case got dismissed, the one where he pretty much was on tour, I think, then he got locked up and then pretty much should be good. So I'm going to start there with the Chris Brown story, and then we'll transition to Nicki Minaj. And I want to say for the last 20 to 30 minutes of the live, we will be talking all the Diddy updates here. I'm not surprised to see this going on with the Diddy case because at the end of the day, man, there's people been out there protesting for Diddy, and I've had my thoughts on it. And again, I'm just gonna sum it up for the people, that's just kind of haven't been keeping it up. I'm not saying that Diddy has done anything illegal, but I mean, honestly, it just sounds like homie is just a glorified freak, And I mean, if that's illegal, then sure. But I mean, I don't know all these cases. I feel like it's just something that ultimately just that got blown out of proportion. You know what I mean? And again, we haven't even really seen what he officially looks like. People have seen him, but as far as official images, we just been getting that. The dude who's been doing the drawings, no disrespect, he's just been very loose-handed with the drawings. That's all I gotta say. I know that may be his style of drawing, but I mean, dog, you know what I mean? It's very different. Let's see, Long Beach Joe Judge says, salutes and respect to Polo in the chat. Appreciate that. Just touching the chat real quick before I get the party started. So as y'all coming in and out, y'all let me know if audio and visual is okay. And of course, smash that like button and sub to the channel if you haven't done so already, man. Manny with the Kick says, what's goody, sold out family? What up, Manny with the Kicks? What up, what up, what up, what up? Yeah, man, so pretty much this is Music Monday. Again, this is something that, we're going to start with Chris Brown. Now, I know he's kind of had a bad track record ever since, and I hate to bring this up, and it's probably gonna flag the channel, not necessarily take the stream down, but every time you talk about this, it's kind of like a no-no on YouTube. And y'all know I'm talking about pretty much Rihanna and his whole situation that was years ago, right? Now, again, I was the guy always in the back then was saying there's more to the story. You know what I'm saying? And there is, you know what I'm saying? I will say this, Rihanna, for the most part, even though she did that interview with Oprah, she didn't say much, right? There's definitely three sides of that story. Chris Brown, ever since then, not that he hasn't made a major comeback and he hasn't made great hits and great music, because he has and he still does and he's still a legend and he's still, what I consider an R&B GOAT. You know what I mean? He's one of the few of the last artists that does singing and dancing at the same time and still sounds good. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about that, that's not when you think of R&B, right? Back in the day, you had to do both. And I'm talking way before Chris Brown was even heard of. This used to be a thing way back in the day when I was growing up. If you did R&B music, you had to have a little dance move with it too. Chris Brown has that and always has that. Usher, right? That's why always people gonna compare him to Michael Jackson, Usher, and them, because they are true what I consider not just great singers and talent, but they perform. If you go to their show, you feel like you're gonna get your money's worth. No disrespect to the artists that just stand there and sing and maybe have some people choreographing in the background. Chris Brown actually goes with that, right? If you think of who else am I thinking of, you can put Beyonce in that category where true, her shows, and I've never been to any of her shows, but everything that I've seen and the way her fan base pay for them shows, it's entertainment. That's my thing. You're gonna be entertained. Now let's just compare Chris Brown to somebody let's say, I don't know, let's see, who am I thinking of? Trey Songz, right? Great singer, right? Debatable, but is he on the level of Chris Brown? No disrespect to Trey Songz because I like a lot of his music too. Singing wise, he's good. But when you go to a show, you know, you're not finna get the flying in the air, the backflips, and all these extra freestyle. And the thing is, Chris Brown doesn't. This is a thing too, because I had this debate at one of my jobs working like a long time ago. I'm about to go down memory lane because I just thought about something, right? You know what? Cool. We'll take Trey Songz out of the equation. So pretty much we were saying like Chris Brown to go, he this, that, and the third at my job, right? Boom. So out of nowhere, left field, even though this is technically my right hand, a guy comes up and he heard us, he worked with us as well. He goes, yeah, but somebody that can hang with him is a JT, which he said JT, which was short for Justin Timberlake. And we pretty much dogged him out the building, right? We're like, dude, are you freaking serious? That's like apples and oranges, right? Chris Brown and Justin Timberlake shouldn't even be in the same sentence, let alone on the same stage. No disrespect to Justin Timberlake because he has hits too. However, and yes, he has dance movement. Yes, he's choreographed. But that's the difference and what we had to argue, right? And I'm not trying to, before I just get on this little Chris Brown case, which I had a feeling was going to be dismissed anyway, but this is my thing, dog. Look at Chris Brown's dance moves. Naturally talented guy. Rhythm, right? No disrespect to the Justin Timberlake fans out there, but yeah, I'm gonna put it this way, right? If they did, remember when we were doing the verses when everything was shut down, right? And everybody was like, blah, 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 blah. Who could Chris Brown go against? Nobody. Who could Usher go against? Nobody, because they're in their own lane and they're at the top of their game. Like, they're going to make whoever it is, it won't be a win for, whoever is going to be on the opposite side. Now, I will say this. If we would have did what this guy has said in my job, Justin Timberlake versus Chris Brown, dog, we probably wouldn't even show up because we're like, well, that's a default to Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Justin Timberlake. He got his little dance moves, but what killed me when Justin Timberlake, and pause when I do this, but this is like Chris Brown, like the moves that Chris Brown do, I'm not even going to attempt to try to duplicate that. The moves that Ushers do, I'm not even going to try to attempt to duplicate that unless I'm just choreographed and done that, right? But when you think of Justin Timberlake dance moves, I'm like, dog, to be honest, give me like a few hours in the dance. I'm going to run it back. I ain't going to disrespect him like that. Give me a couple weeks of actively practicing. I feel like he was doing the robot joint, like, this was his joint, you know what I'm saying? And and they were dope for what he could do, but at the same time, you put that next to Chris Brown on a stage, dog, we're gonna be like, yo, Justin Timberlake, get the F out the way, dog. No disrespect. And I mess with some of Justin Timberlake's songs. I don't even want to sound like I'm dissing. And I ain't gonna lie, like, NSYNC, when that was a group, growing up, I listened to a couple of their songs. I ain't even gonna front. We don't hear much pop music anymore, for real. Where we at real quick, Manny with the Kick says, Joe Jett salutes. Where we at, Manny with the Kick says, Chris Brown will smoke JT easily. See? It's not even it wasn't fair. And that's what we're trying to tell this guy, like, dog, like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, it was almost like you disrespecting Chris Brown. And I hate that Chris Brown got a bad rep because of the whole Rihanna situation. And ever since then, it seems like just trouble follows you. And as a person who's been in and out of trouble his whole life, for the most part, like, this is, I would say 2022 and beyond has been the cleanest, like, my life has been, and I'm thankful. But I would say all that to say, like, my parents should say trouble is very easy to get into and very hard to get out of. So Chris Brown, you just got to give him time to grow. If you think about it, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, homie set the stage and was coming out making music at 15. I mean, sure, Michael Jackson did it at 5, but 15 is still a very young age too. You know what I'm saying? To come out and you're swinging and you're making numbers and you're doing things. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Chris Brown. And what I feel like he doesn't get enough, and I know that he just recently gave T-Pain his flowers, I want to give Chris Brown his flowers tonight, dog. I think if his name is on it, it's going to be a hit. You know what I'm saying? He's worked with some of the people that you didn't think, like him and Young Thug did a collaboration album, right? Or a collaboration mixtape. I didn't think, not saying can't see them two making a song or two, but a whole album, different ball game. Also, give Chris Brown credit where, think about it, Tyga, no disrespect, Tyga was for his time, he was, running things a little bit. He had a high streak, but like that Fan of a Fan album and or mixtape, that go hard. So I like those two when they work together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving credit where credit is due. Chris Brown, legend, dog. I mean, I'm not saying all the songs I listen to, but I don't think any of them sound bad. You know? So again, and then, like he said, it was a long time ago. Honestly, you can't judge somebody off their past, but you got to give them time to improve and show that. And I think Chris Brown has done that, man. He's from what I appear to be, an excellent dad. You know what I'm saying? Dude's a legend. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you slice it and dice it. So let me share my screen. I didn't mean to go on that rant, but at the end of the day, dog, that whole Rihanna situation, yes, I believe in you shouldn't be put. This is the thing. Neither one of them should be putting hands on anybody, right? No matter how you slice it and dice it. I just think that was a situation that kind of got a little out of control before either one of them realized it. And I'm pretty sure, looking back on it, she hates that day happen as much as he does. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, again, I don't know. You know, his whole life is a legend and opinionated base, by the way. Where we at, Long Beach says, Tugs was running things. What the F are you smoking? Tiger was running things. Look, this is what I mean. I'm not saying Tiger was running the rap game, but he had a few, like he had a few little bangers, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I'm not saying he was a GOAT, but when that whole Young Money era came out, he had some bangers. Like that one joint, what he used to do? I forgot his series that he did with his music, with his mixtapes. But Tiger had a few hits for real though. Let's just keep it. We gonna give him credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? And he low key been moving silently. You know. But I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna put him up there as far as like GOAT status. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he's worked with Chris Brown. If you haven't listened to the Fan of a Fan album or mixtape, I think you would like it. You know what I'm saying? Tiger, his style to me is kind of, it all sounds the same when you really think about it to me. I don't want to sound like I'm hating. My thing is, and he's not the only one, right? And I'm not trying to compare apples and oranges here, but it's like, I can listen to Tiger, but honestly, after like the second song, even if it's a different one, I'm like, all right, I've had enough because all this is starting to sound the same. Same with, if we can put Travis, what am I looking for? Scott in that for me. This is me, my personal opinion. When I listen to like one or two Travis Scott songs, I've heard them all, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying they're not fire. You know what I'm saying? But Tiger was definitely on his game. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm going to pull him up on Spotify real quick. Just to let you know, like, I mean, there's a few songs out there that, you know, Tiger was a part of a movement too. I ain't saying he was the GOAT or anything. Don't get that twisted. That's not what I'm implying. You know what I'm saying? He's got 23.9 monthly listeners on Spotify, dog. I'm just saying. But he had that Rack City joint. That was a thing. But there's a Fan of a Fan joint. That Careless album he did, the Gold album joint, that was kind of not it. But I mean, yeah, he had his run. And the Well Done, that's what it is, the Well series. The series he had, the mixtape series, it's the Well Done joint. Now, he only has Well Done 4 on here, but I've heard all of them. And I will say, like, for the most part, the Well Done 1 and 2 joints, they were pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He's worked with some of your biggest artists, too, like Future. You know what I'm saying? Before he took off like a rocket. So, again, I mean, he's got a great... If you look at Tiger's feature catalog, he's worked with some of the best. He's even got that song, I said thong, pause. He's got that song with Young Thug. What's that joint, Pass Me the Hookah? If I'm not mistaken, that's his song. You know what I'm saying? Who is Pass the Hookah? Let me look at, you know what? I got to look this up real quick. Pass Me the Hookah, I'm almost positive, if I'm not mistaken, that's Tiger's song. I don't want to sound like I'm hating, dog. I'm just saying, you know? And I'm not saying you are either, but Pass Me the Hookah, if I'm not mistaken, that's, yeah, song by Tiger. It features Young Thug. Right? But that's technically Tiger's song. You know? Again, not trying to overly exaggerate like the whole situation, but you know, I didn't mean to even bring Tiger into the equation. You know what I mean? Long Beach says, I not disrespecting Tiger. He's had some good songs, but in no way he had ran things in the rap. Hey, that's all I said. I'm not saying he was running things. I take that statement back. But he had a good run. He's had a good run though. Let's just give him. This is my thing. If managed correctly on the road, Tiger gonna eat. You know. I mean, at the end of the day, he even helped bring Black China in this joint. I mean, Drake kind of did that, but then Tiger put the icing on the cake. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know. Slayer says, "What up, Sneaker Squad 100? What up, Slayer? What up? What up? What up? What up?" So let's talk this Chris Brown lawsuit case real quick. Let's see what it's talking about, and we'll transition on to Nicki Minaj's, and then we will transition on to Diddy to wrap things up here for the night, man. Appreciate y'all for being active in the chat as always. It really helps the kid out. So boom, you guys should be seeing my screen. Here we are right here. So this is the first one right here. Chris Brown assault lawsuit dismissed by alleged victim. Now, this is a joint that happened in UK. Remember, he got locked up for this joint. They gave him bail, but keep in mind, he got locked up for this joint. But he ain't tripping. He on tour, and I'm pretty sure homie is making a bag every stop. You know what I'm saying? You got to give credit where credit is due, right? Again, Chris Brown has just had, I feel like, just what you would call some bad luck. You know what I mean? But it says Brown is still facing criminal charges in the UK related to the alleged altercation at London nightclub. Chris Brown assault lawsuit dismissed by alleged victim. So if the victim dismissed the case, I'm assuming Chris Brown met up with them, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming something made that person want to dismiss the case. It says a lawsuit accusing Chris Brown of assault at a London nightclub in February of 2023 has been dropped by the accuser. So the accuser has dropped it. Now, I'm not saying this happened because I don't know, right? But I'm assuming Chris Brown is like, yo, let me talk to him real quick. Hey, dog, I'm going to put it this way, and I'm not saying this happened, right? But it sounds like, I ain't even read but the first line, but it sounds like somebody was paid off, and everybody got a price. And my thing is that if homie himself even forgot about the joint, I'm gonna put it this way. If I got assaulted by Chris Brown back in 2023, right, and then he come back to my country, while I may not be the biggest fan at this point, but if he get locked up and then he gets bail and he hits you up, be like, yo, if you drop the case, I'm willing to drop X amount of bag right here and say it fell on the ground. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Only if, and I'm not saying this happened, right? But I'm saying that if homie saying, like this back in 2023, Chris Brown pulling me like, I got 20K for you, cash. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that can make some difference in your life. You know what I'm saying? Slayer says, Breezy sent him an apology check. Hey, I wouldn't be, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. Would you? Is right. It says, according to the LA County Court documents viewed by Billboard, the accuser requested on Friday, June 27, that the suit be dismissed with prejudice, meaning he can't refile the case. Meaning, right? So there's with prejudice and without prejudice. When you do without prejudice, mean if the person feels like they want to get back at you, they can. It says the filing with prejudice request can signal that a settlement was reached, but this has not yet been confirmed by either party involved. So most likely, neither one of them are probably going to speak about it, right? But there you go right there. Keep in mind, I ain't read this whole joint. I ain't read the whole joint. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you said it could have been a settlement reached. Slayer says, I want an apology check. Says the accuser claimed that Brown struck him multiple times with a bottle of Don Julio 1942 at Tape nightclub, proceeded to stump him out, which alleged left the music producer injured and temporarily unconscious. Again, my thing is this. Homie, also, is there video proof? So, I mean, sure, this could have been drawn out, but some tells me in the UK, the laws are slightly different if I had to guess, right? It says Brown is still facing criminal charges in the case, but I'm assuming if he get the civil case thrown out, the criminal case, he's probably going to, and the thing is too, if they let Brown get his feet back on the ground over here in the U.S., he's not really, you know what I'm saying? He's going to probably request like court by Zoom and boom, probably not coming over there. I don't know. Man with the Kick says, Tiger washed and isn't he on OnlyFans nowadays? I mean, he get into the bag however he can get to it. I don't know. I'm not gonna say wash, but I mean, at the same time, definitely different times for music in general. You know, it says he was arrested at the Manchester hotel on May 15th as he arrived in Europe for tour rehearsals and was charged with one count of causing grievances body harm with intent, as well as additional count of assault causing bodily harm and possessing an offensive weapon. So again, it doesn't mean it was a gun. It just said he had an offensive weapon. So I don't know what that means. Like maybe oh, I know what that's for. That bottle. That bottle, hey, you turn it into a weapon, and here we are. Brown was initially denied bond, which put his Breezy Bowl 20, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's 20 tour in jeopardy until the R&B singer secured a lucrative bail package for $6.7 million on May 21st. Hey, UK don't be playing over there. I'm assuming, I hope he only had to pay 10%, but still, that's still in the millies. Like, God, oh my God. It says the R&B singer appeared in London court on June 20th to plead not guilty to the charge of serious assault. He's due back in court July 11th as the trial has been set for October 26th. So, sure, he's going to show back on the court, but I guarantee you, before trial begins in October, he's going to be back in the U.S., dog. Brown is currently wrapping up there you go. He's ending the tour right now. Brown is currently wrapping up the European leg of the Breezy Bowl 20 tour with dates set at the Glasgow and Paris this week. He'll then head to the U.S. where the first show of his stadium trek is slated for Miami, July 30th. Billboard has reached out to an attorneys for Brown and the accuser. So again, I guess you can say this is like a different one. You know what I'm saying? Slayer says, hey, yo. I mean, he is on OnlyFans, but I mean, I don't want to sit here and bash Tiger, dog. You know what I'm saying? He's on OnlyFans, but I mean, this is my thing. He's got enough. Think about this, too. Tiger can easily pull up where Chris Brown could have him featured on the set on each one of the tours for usually they give him a bag for pulling up and doing the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's X amount for coming and singing your part and performing it live. People go crazy and boom, he still looks like the good guy. I said this time and time again, if you do it right, and I'm not saying Tiger's a one-hit wonder because, I mean, while he got hits, but he ain't had no, he's had hits, but it ain't like that timeless. His music's not timeless. Let's just keep it 100. Tiger's music's not timeless. That's a nicer way I could put it. But it's my thing with it, right? So my thing is this, he still has enough work where he can tour off of it. You know what I'm saying? He can still get an audience. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a little different, but he can get an audience. You know what I'm saying? Men on the Kick says, that's what he does though, Slayer. Man, look, I was gonna Google Tiger OnlyFans, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't even want to put that in the Google search at all. If he does it, he does it. I don't know. I know I've heard it though. So yeah, this is pretty much the tequila attack. So this is what we just kind of covered for Chris Brown. Now, this is the video, I guess, that at the club he was at, but this is images, but this is to show him assaulting anybody. It says, according to the docs, he wants his dismissed with prejudice, meaning he can't refile it. We kind of already covered that part. I'm not going to read all over there, but that's Chris Breezy having a good time, dog. But this apparently right here is images. I did not want to get a close and personal of this guy's teeth and mouth, but apparently these are the alleged injuries. This is my thing. Is there video proof that Chris Brown did this? Because look like he popped him in the mouth, pause, and look like he busted his lip, if I had to guess. Again, doesn't mean it. Says he claimed that Chris Brown not only struck him 3 times with the bottle of Don Julio in 1942, but while he was unconscious on the floor, Chris continued to ruthlessly stumble him, leaving him with some lasting injuries. This is my thing. If you went unconscious, how the hell you know you're getting stumped out? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Remember, he was arrested earlier this year, shortly after landing in the UK for the World Tour. Yeah, so this is what this is for. This is the guy. This is the images. Again, nothing has pointed the camera to Chris Brown or the proof that he's did this. So again, this is just what this person's saying that what's happened. So in my opinion, it's his word against his word unless he's got some additional proof. Again, he wants to dismiss with prejudice. So I'm assuming what the attorneys is hoping that if he dropped the case, then the criminal case will be dropped as well. You know, I'm pretty sure that's what Chris Brown and his attorneys is hoping. But yeah, man, pretty much that's the Chris Brown story. We're gonna move on to Nicki Minaj, and then we'll close out with Diddy for like the last 15-ish, 20 minutes. However, it takes me along to cover this. Nicki Minaj accuses Roc Nation of plotting a conspiracy against her. Nicki, this is my thing. She's got great hits and timeless music too, but she ain't put out nothing like, in my opinion, currently that's went viral. I feel like her time is kind of gone and went too. And let me clarify this. She's got enough timeless hits where she's going to eat and be good forever. She's got a straight fan base, and I don't want the barbs, or what is she's the barbs, right? They're the barbs, because what is Beyonce joints? They're the beehive, so I think hers is the barbs. Don't ask me why I know this, I just do. This is my thing. Nicki, like, get in the stew and just cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. She's been around for a minute and she's doing her thing. And there are some Nicki Minaj songs that I feel like hit too. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I want to leave it at that, though. Slayer says, at Men with the Kicks, that's crazy. So Nicki Minaj accuses Roc Nation of plotting against conspiracy against her. Remember, Tory Lanez dad went on Roc Nation too. And every few weeks or month, you hear this about Roc Nation. Like, if you don't get in and play like ball game, it's pretty much you're gonna easily get swept out of the music industry. But my thing is too, if you make a hit big enough, pause, then there's nothing they could really do if it takes off viral, right? So this is from June 23, 2025. So yeah, I wanted to cover this real quick just so before I transition on to the Diddy joint. It says Nicki Minaj appears to have accused Roc Nation of plotting a conspiracy against her. Things kicked off when Minaj reposted an interview done by DeMoray Hadley, hope I'm reading that correctly, the estranged daughter of Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez. So we've heard her name tossed around a lot. We've heard 6ix9ine use it. I mean, I guess you can even think as far as like what who am I looking for? Meek Mill, which ironically Nicki Minaj used to date Meek Mill. But it says, in the interview, Hadley, who is suing her mother for committing her to a mental institution, claims that they have Roc Nation abuse her, Nicki Minaj, freedom of speech. They have abused her family, and they have attacked her husband. They have attacked her child. It should really scare the American people. It says, it should really scare you guys too, right? Because I'm the daughter. So it's like, at this point, if it's happening to me, I think she's really outspoken, and I'm grateful that she's being outspoken. It says on it, because I think she's almost saying it's like, well, it happened to me, it happened to her. Let me speak up on it. Nobody is safe right now. So this is the post I think Nicki Minaj put on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. It says, to the PMs who claim it wasn't made clear to your ugly you know what, and she's cussing it out, just hopefully Demerau's massive and detailed page by page claim gets you all the way caught up. And never call me a liar, never insinuated either. Every single angel ever created fights for me at the mere mention. So I mean, this is Nicki going on her rant, dog. Get in the stew and go cook. Hold on, wait. How old is Nicki Minaj? And I probably shouldn't be looking up a lady's age here, and I know that's like a bad rep, but let me look this up real quick, just for shits and giggles, because if I'm not mistaken, she came in the game, already kind of, rap and stuff like that. While you can grow to be a timeless artist, I mean, it's a mixture of things. Now, I remember when Nicki Minaj was at the peak of her career, but right now, 42 years old, and she's saying that, which, not old, by the way. That's not old at all. But, I mean, at the same time, dog, why not just get and make some songs and stay off the internet? Because those artists that I feel like really, and let me share the music screen again, those music artists that just literally just really go off their talent, they don't need social media. They just, like Beyonce, they don't really post anything. Jay-Z don't really post anything. But again, this is probably kind of proving more of their point where they're saying Roc Nation could have that much control and power, right? So I pretty much probably just diluted that whole argument. She added that, as an outsider looking in which parallels to my case and some of the things I've read about her situation, it's concerning. It's a frightening, and I do think there is enough to speculate allegedly that Roc Nation probably most likely abused their platform and their influence to kind of tarnish Nicki Minaj's image. So this is somebody else I think is speaking on Nicki Minaj. A lot of people have said, like, when it's all been said and done, they don't really say anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming this is the guy who got the original audio here. I may play it. It says, Minaj then added her own opinion, writing on X. The peons, we kind of read that part right there real quick just to get you caught up. It says, and we pretty much read that part. I'm not going to go through that one. It says, every single aim we read that part. I think this is just a quote. So I think this a video right here to play? Because I don't know if he actually played this. I think there's an audio joint. Let me see real quick. Give me like 2 seconds. Boom. Because I think you can play this. Yeah, there's a video. Hold on. Let me play this joint because I guess it's a person that's kind of speaking out. Boom. So check this real quick. Let me actually cut the mic on for my live. And boom. So I guess he's sipping tea. Is this a Nicki Minaj diehard fan or something? You got to do all that just to speak though, dog?
Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Y'all need to be a part of this conversation. This is going to be a very serious conversation. So
I'm already going to say this before I even get started, right? Maybe it's the right message, but it appears to be the wrong messenger. But go ahead.
Well, for those of you who are tuning in, you know, I talk about politics typically. And one of the things that we talk a lot about in politics is the swamp and the deep state and the amount of effort that goes into corruption when it comes to the political sphere. And maturity is realizing that DC and Hollywood are the exact same space. Okay. Now, when we talk about these power players, there are power players such as Roc Nation, for example, where you have big leaders in the company like Jay-Z and, you know, this woman named Desiree Perez that we'll be talking about today. Now,
my thing is this, Jay-Z name get tossed around a lot for somebody who just kind of appears like they're minding their own business.
Now, this story, we're going to be expanding on it more on YouTube next week because I want to give Demore the full opportunity to tell all the detail of her story. But today I want to begin the conversation of exposing some of the abusive tactics that have allegedly been happening because of these big Hollywood elites from the perspective of the CEO of Roc Nation's daughter. So let's bring her in.
This is the CEO's daughter that's supposed to come into this joint? Okay, so she's the one I think that spoke on it. Homie's focused, but he doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. Yeah. You gotta come prepared, dog.
Good
That's
afternoon.
wow.
Hi, how are you?
I am blessed and highly
Why can't we
favored.
see
How
her
are
whole
you?
face though? But
I'm doing
we're
well
gonna keep it
considering
moving.
all things, and I appreciate you for having me here today.
Of course, I am really, really grateful and honored and humbled that you are giving me the opportunity to talk to you more about your situation and all things going on. And I just want to preface and say that you are so protected by God.
Wow. I'm not gonna go all the way into this joint, but I mean I'm gonna play a little bit, but I guess they wanted to go live and speak this, but it says Minaj has made no secret of her own issues with the record giant and recently accused them of working to tear her family apart and claimed that there was a social media conspiracy to suppress the voice of her and her fans. But my thing is, are these people, where is this, are these
The
loyal
fact that
sources?
you
You know
are
what I mean?
here and healthy, as well as your husband, that is a blessing from God. And I want you to just continue to move without fear and with strength. And just to say that I am proud of you. The more I have looked into your story, I was in tears this morning just doing a deep dive. So you are incredible. So let's start with just, you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so we kind of read over that, so I'm not going to go the whole thing. Plus, they don't have her all the way on the screen, but this is my thing, dog. And let me see how long the video is. Hold on real quick. I'm going to put myself on the main screen real quick. I'm going to see if I can view it on the profile. Because if he did like a long, like hour-long video, and I'm not trying to downplay him or diss him or anything like that, but this is my thing. It looks like he was kind of long with it with this joint. I think this is it right here. Hold on real quick. So, yeah, it does. I don't even think I could fast forward this joint because I'm not sure how long it is, but yeah. Apparently, he's already got her side of the story right here. There's more stuff to this, too. And if I'm not mistaken, she already kind of like, look at this. He got her up on this. This is on his Instagram right here, by the way. Let me see if I can play this, but let's see. She's already done other interviews. Link in bio, how Hollywood elites keep people quiet. And this is
legal
kind of the whole
action
story.
after she says she spent nearly 2 weeks in mental health institutions for no legitimate reason.
I have been falsely imprisoned through the misuse of the Baker Act, the Marchman Act, and a petition for a guardianship. And then my husband was falsely imprisoned 3 times.
So legally, I can go home.
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker active.
Nicki Minaj is personally so invested in what's happening to you, putting out the hashtag Justice for Dem.
And according to Demore, it's her own mother who's behind it.
So she's the CEO of Rock Nation, a company
So this is her
that
daughter
she
right here
owns
speaking
along
out.
with Sean
Her
Carter.
daughter. This is the Desiree Perez's daughter, if I'm not mistaken.
Miss rapper Jay-Z. Sean Carter, investigate your team, investigate your management team. When does accountability come in for these people, right?
Why is she so determined, allegedly, to have you not only be quiet, but to be put into a psychiatric ward? Like, what's going on?
Wow. So I'm not gonna watch the whole story, but I am.
A South Florida
borderline
woman is taking
curious
legal
a little
action
bit.
after.
I'm gonna stop that, but I mean, wow, that's crazy. So it says this: everyone is afraid to speak on Demore, but why? Why is Nicki Minaj calling for justice? What happens when you expose the elites of Hollywood? Demore Haley speaks out on her explosive lawsuit against her mother, Desiree Perez, Rock Nation CEO, alleging a pattern of abuse, surveillance, threats, and wrongful detainment while addressing ties to Tory Lanez, Nicki Minaj, Jay-Z, and the music industry power dynamics. So yeah, man, interesting. So this pretty much saying Nicki Minaj is kind of speaking up for her, saying that, hey, yeah, there could be some truth to this. So let's go ahead and fast forward to the Diddy trial joint for the last part of the live. Just to wrap things up here for us, so we're going to give an update, because keep in mind, the jury has started deliberating, and pretty much they're about to decide his fate here in an X amount of time. Now, I have seen it where some say the judge say he preferably would love to have a final answer by July 4th. But if you think about July 4th, it's Friday, so we don't know how long it's going to take for these guys to deliberate. But if you see the title on my screen, it says Diddy Trial Deliberations Halted by Amit Problem with Juror 25. So apparently there is an issue with one of the jurors, so we're going to cover that real quick for like the last 10 minutes, and we'll wrap things up here. We got Thomas Goldring Jr. in the building, says, what the hell? Exactly, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it says deliberations in the Sean Diddy Combs trial came to a scrolling halt on June 30th, which pretty much, guess what? That is today, man. So this is going to be like the latest update I've seen on this. Y'all know I've been following the trial, and I've had my mixed feelings about the whole Puff case. My thing is this: what he's on trial for is, I feel like that compared to what he should be on trial for, totally apples and oranges in my opinion. It says the Sean Diddy Combs trial took a bit of a turn on June 30th when the jury sent a note to the judge during the deliberations. According to TMZ, Judge Arun says addressed the note in the court about 1 hour into deliberation. So you know what? This is according to TMZ, which I have the story up here. So let's start here, because it seems like they got the, they got the meat and potatoes, bruh. Slayer says Diddy is done. I wouldn't say all that, right? Is it looking good? No, right? And this is the thing, I've talked to several people, and again, we're nobodies, man. And I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying the people, we're not on trial. I'm not the person I'm not in the jury seat. I'm not the judge. I'm not the attorneys. But I'm saying all this, based off all the information that's been put out there, and there's some stuff that the public just don't know, but it sounds like all Diddy is guilty of, in my opinion, is just a guy who was a little too overly active in the bedroom, right? Okay, now whether these people are against their will or not, that's a different ball game, but I don't think that's what he's on trial for. Again, I don't think he's being accused of R-ing anybody. So that's my thing too. If you aren't R-ing them, right, catch my drift, but you are flying a man and this, that, and the third, that's called X trafficking. But this is my thing. This is no different than I'm not saying I did this because I haven't, right? I ain't got the bag like that. But if you meet somebody like say you go on vacation or whatever, say you go over to say you live on the East Coast, but you go to Cali. Then you meet somebody out there, y'all exchange numbers, you couldn't handle business, and then y'all like each other, y'all hit it off, y'all can talk consistently, and then you fly her over to be like, hey, come chill with me for the weekend, this and third. That's, come on, dog. That sounds like what Diddy did. By now, if they start to get ready to get active, then yeah, whatever he, that's probably when the baby oil come into play, It says Diddy trial juror note halts the deliberations. Juror 25 cannot follow judge instructions. Now, again, it's from June 30th right here. So it was just posted pretty much at 11:14 a.m. To the best of my knowledge, according to this reading. It says there's already a dramatic development at the jury began deliberating in Diddy's federal criminal trial in NYC. A note was sent by the jury to the judge in the courtroom within about an hour of when deliberating began. Says the judge announced at about 1:15 p.m. We have received a note from the jury. He said the note from the jury, fourth person reads, we have a juror 25, who we believe cannot follow your honor's instructions, and the four person wanted to meet with the judge about it. Now, I'm thinking this is like pretty much the video right here. I'm going to see if I can play this. This is for fair use, by the way, because I think TMZ is not a big fan of us using their stuff. But I'm going to say fair use. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't stop the stream. Where we at real quick on the chat? Slayer says, trial of the excessive baby oil parties. I mean, that may be something he would be guilty of. Still trying to figure out why he has that much baby oil. But I mean, like, dog. He does have a lot of kids, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? To be fair, he has a lot of kids, and yeah, maybe he need. I don't know. I don't know what he did with the baby oil, but I got the audio on mute on this joint real quick because it's playing an ad. So the video will resume in 16 seconds. We're gonna play this, and then we're gonna keep the party going. Hopefully, don't get my channel taken down or anything like that. Just using this for fair use and entertainment purposes, just to see what's going on. This ad, little too long for my liking to see this lady doing all these dance moves, though, if I'm going to keep it real. So here we go right here with TMZ.
For only a matter of an hour or two, and there is already strife, and we are going to talk about what this means.
This is 5 minutes long, so I'm not going to go all the way into it. I'm going to see if I can read it, because I know for a fact there ain't no way YouTube won't let me play the whole 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to keep the party going, though, because I'm pretty sure they covered in the writing here. But you can see that's obviously the people from TMZ, some of the major heavy hitters there. But it says, Diddy and his lawyers were huddled in the courtroom at this announcement. Diddy's defense attorney, Mark Affinio, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but probably mispronouncing his last name, suggested telling the jury it's still early in the process. They are just getting started. Processing attorney McQueen Coney said that they suggest instructing jurors it's important not to include any information that was what is going on in the jury room. So pretty much, as you can see, there's been a lot, and these probably are videos of Diddy's and his kids showing up to trial. And I will say they are well trained because they don't entertain none of the cameras. They act like they're not there. But to be fair, they've grown up in the public eye pretty much all their lives. They know who their dad is. Somebody of importance, right? It says, the judge instructed both sides to confer upon a response. About 30 minutes later, Judge Sabrinian sent a note back to the jury. He reminded the jurors of their duty and the obligation to follow his instructions on the law. He told the jury to continue to deliberate. So it's been halted, but he pretty much got them still working, right? Long Beach says excessive baby oil. Hey, look, man. Again, what the man did in his time in the bedroom, I don't know. But again, why you need that much baby oil? And I may go back and try to play a little bit of this video too, because it's not much written, but it says it's unclear whether the juror is unable to follow the judge's instructions in favor of the defense or for prosecution, but it seems to indicate the juror may be leaning towards not guilty on one or more of the charges. That's what people are worried about too, because I mean, to be honest, I think, right, if I'm not mistaken, all he needs is they all have to say all in favor, guilty or something like that. But I'm pretty sure if he can get one or two people, kind of like if you do the Melly joint where two people I think it was 2 or 3 people that said not guilty and they would not been, then they rule Melly's case as a mistrial. So I'm very curious what they would say with Diddy's, you know what I'm saying? It says, yeah, but it says, seems like the indicator may be leaning towards not guilty on one or more of the charges and may be in odds with the other 11 jurors. We know Juror 25 is a 51-year-old. Wow, I can't believe I'm about to read this, but y'all bear with me. I wasn't prepared for this one, but it says, we know Juror 25 is a 51-year-old gay white man with a PhD in molecular biology who's pretty much is studied a voluntary science. So again, not judging the dude at all, but pretty much this is where they got to deliberate in. And to be honest, man, one thing when you take this trial to jury by stuff, man, sometimes these people been there so damn long, they just ready to go to freak home, dog. And I'm not trying to defend them. Some people like, let's get his ass up out of here. I don't care. He's rich. You know what I'm saying? But you want people like that that's really gonna really try to make sure they look at all the facts and what's presented. So let's play a little bit of this real quick and see if we can dissect if they got anything important here.
Story. The jurors sent a note to the judge already saying that Juror 25 cannot follow the judge's instruction.
So I'm assuming the rest of the jury said that the Juror 25 is a problem, if what I'm getting from it, right?
I think I know what that means.
It certainly sounds like most of the jury, 11 jurors, agree on what they want to do here.
At least on something.
Again, they don't know because they haven't been in the room, so we got to give it credit. Like that's, and I agree why you would make that assumption, but obviously if he said he can't follow the rules of what the judge has been given, that doesn't mean they're leaning towards guilty or not guilty. It just means that what it is, he said he can't, whatever, but they didn't give a reason as to why. That's my thing. If I was a judge, I would be like, my note back, why? I would need more details,
We don't know.
It could be just for one of the counts.
It could be for one of the counts. It could be for all of the counts.
Not for the entire case.
It's weird that a couple hours in.
That they already send a note, because that means they're not even, there's no need for them to discuss anything. Like, we know this is what we want.
Feels like this guy's a holdout.
Right, and this one person is the holdout.
And so now the question, what does this mean? The only thing I can think of is if there are 11 people on one side, and again, we're guessing this.
Who very quickly know what they want.
So if they need just one person to say, if that's all Diddy needs, that's probably why you take it to trial. And that don't always work in your favor, because I've said this time and time again too, right? Trial by jury is one of the most expensive cases. I've never had one, and probably, hopefully, knock on wood, I'll say this, I don't want one, right? These type of cases, this is $1 million, this is big boys, you know what I'm saying? This is the big game, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the judge listening to both parties. He listens, but it's up to the jury to make the decision. When you do a trial by jury, you're getting judged on I guess select by your peers, but they don't know the law like the judge is supposed to know the law, right? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Again, they just got to listen to the story and testimonies and go from there.
Want to do.
Because if there were 5, why would they single out this one if 4 others felt the same way?
Right.
So it seems like this one guy.
And if we go off of Melly's case, I think it was only one juror at first, and he was able to flip the other person, then it was 2. Long Beach says Juror 25 is the issue. Whoa, yeah, that's what I said. I think, and if it's just one, that means they all in favor got to say he's guilty. But if one person is refusing to do it, and they're saying he's the problem, again, we don't know what the reasoning is. Nobody, they have yet to say that. They're just making this is obviously kind of one of those, you want to put it out there though, because we've been following this case for quite some time.
Guy feels differently from everybody else, and the everybody else part that has tried to convince this one guy, you got to look at the jury instruction, the judge's instructions, right. And the juror is saying, I don't care about the judge's instructions. At least that's the way the other 11 see it.
And it's not that he doesn't understand. We don't think it's that he doesn't understand the actual instructions, because what we know of his background from the jury selection process.
Yeah, so they're going to go over the jury selection process of him. Manny with the Kick says, Diddy going to be out by the end of the year? If he's not guilty, he should be out a lot sooner than that. But then again, with this already happening, I find it, I'm not saying that they won't have a verdict by July 3rd, but I'm assuming, to be honest, we may not hear a verdict until next week after the holidays too. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. If they're already going an hour in and already having issues, it's about to be a long week. Long story short, you know?
Process. He's a very educated man who's got a PhD in molecular biology. So
51-year-old white guy.
I don't think there's any.
I've so resisted guessing in this case because you'd never know.
But because it's this quick.
It just feels like to me that this guy is saying, because it's the only thing that makes sense. I don't care what the judge is saying. I am not going to find Diddy guilty.
But the judge, if I had to guess, right? I don't think the judge can tell you how to vote, like if he's guilty or not guilty. They give you instructions of stuff you have to follow and go from there. So I'm assuming the judge, that would be a mistrial within itself if you ask me, right? The judge can't tell you how to say like guilty or not guilty. You know what I'm saying? He can give you the instructions of what he expects and how he expects things to be carried out. But it's ultimately up to you to make your own decision. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to keep it, if I had to guess his house, if that's the case, there's no point in having a trial by jury if the judge is going to tell you what to do. Yes, he's going to tell you how you should go about carrying things, but he can't tell you who to vote for and what have you, right?
On whatever the charge is, whether it's racketeering or whatever else it is, because, for example, this feels like a bedroom police prosecution. It could be something that goes, this is called in the law, if this is the case, jury nullification, where a juror says, I don't care what the judge is telling me. The right thing to do is something else. That's what it's feeling like.
Maybe so, but at the same time, you still have to follow it within the, this is my thing. Do the jury have to give a reason as to why they, and I don't think this is a thing, but this is what I'm thinking too. Does a jury have to give a reasoning as to why they're saying not guilty, or can they just say not guilty and move on? I mean, they probably got to explain that amongst themselves, and whether they don't believe it, they can argue day long. But again, the juries have to come to, an anonymous decision, if I'm not mistaken, right? But if you got one person saying no matter what, we might as well not even waste time. Like, to me, if I had to guess, it's looking more, and I don't know what the final outcome is going to be, but allegedly, but if I had to guess, it's looking more and more like a mistrial. I know his attorneys have been aiming for a mistrial from pretty much since the trial has begun. And that's what they do. They're doing their job trying to get their client home,
To me.
So if you're going to guess here, it's that the 11 are saying convict him on one of the counts.
That's what it feels like to me.
So when the note was handed to the judge explained what was going on to the prosecutors and to Diddy's defense. They all came up and had a meeting about this.
Hey, all I gotta say, if Diddy beat this case, he finna break the internet. No matter what the outcome is, he's finna break the internet. But if he beats the case, if he walks and comes home free, dog, I can only imagine not only will he break the internet, how he'll react. And, Diddy is no stranger to attention, dog. He's, you know what I'm saying? The little pictures and stuff we seen drawn, he's not finna come out looking like that. You know what I'm saying? If he beats the kid, I don't know. Too soon to call right now.
What Mark Agnifilo, Diddy's co-lead attorney, said was, just tell them it's really early, Judge, and, they should get back to figuring it out. If you're the defense and they send that note out this quickly,
it's bad news.
It's bad news.
Yeah,
right?
it's bad news.
Look, for who though? For who? Devon says they trying so hard to put Diddy in the jail. They are, but at the same time, this is the point of having a trial by jury. They're going to do that. Say fair use. I've been saying fair use the whole entire life. Hopefully I haven't been flagged too much. But yeah, I know TMZ them don't play, but I did say fair use. It says if Diddy beats the case, it's going to be an Astroglide is going off the shells. Yeah. Hey, chill, bro. I do think whether he beats the case or not, all his songs and his stuff that he's attached to, that's going to skyrocket naturally, especially if he beats it, and then he's probably going to have some already in the stew already working, you know what I'm saying? Diddy, one thing you can say, no matter how you slice and dice it, he knows how to bring a team together to lead to success if you're going to keep it real, right?
if the
Fair
jury,
use, though. Fair use
if
for this whole
11
ride.
people, if 11 people are saying one guy is just off the reservation, that can't be for acquittal. It just can't.
I tend to agree with you. There's a small chance. I tend to agree with you that a bunch of people are saying the government just didn't prove their case, and this one man is saying, I don't care, Diddy's a dangerous person,
Right, it
and I
doesn't
don't
make
want him on the
sense.
streets. That's possible as
That's very rare. Like, this guy, that was a stretch. He's saying that basically that 11 people could be saying that, yeah, he is, he's saying one person can be saying, like, he's a dangerous man, I don't want him on the streets, and 11 people saying not guilty. I mean, that's a shot in the dark, but it seems like that it could be. He says he might go to jail for a year or two. I mean, I don't know, We'll see, because the thing is, whatever it is, the judge could be mad and maximize it out, Keep in mind, they didn't like the way Diddy was nodding at the juror and this, that, and the third, too, So he's been given, not the easiest time during this case either,
well that he's a holdout for the prosecution. I agree it's more likely your scenario, but I could also see them saying, look, he shouldn't be on the streets, and I don't care what the hell Rico says, I'm convicting him no matter what.
And by the way, again, like I want to underscore what Charles is saying, even if we're right, this could be as to one count.
Right.
Could be as
Just
to
be
all
one,
counts.
'cause
We
there's
don't
four
know.
counts.
Yeah, they just said it. It's 4 counts. So yeah, you never know what it could lead up to. You know what I mean? Who knows? Like, could he walk on all charges? And that's what I'm gonna say too. This is where I can see why everybody's saying he's gonna do a year, he's gonna do 2 years. Again, it's not just one thing. He's got multiple charges. If he could be found not guilty on all of them, it's gonna be a big deal. You know what I mean? A very big deal.
And
It's just shocking to me. Look, I covered
five counts. So.
I covered the
5
O.J.
counts.
Simpson
5
case,
counts.
and it was a 9-month trial, and the jury
Wow.
took 2 hours. So, this.
Wow. So the O.J. Simpson case was, according to Harvey right here, right? He said it was a 9-month case, and it only took the jury 2 hours to find him not guilty.
This is actually a little more complicated because in OJ it was just, did he do it or did he not?
Yeah, this is true. He had, I will say this, as big of OJ's case it was double murder, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was pretty much either guilty or not guilty. This one is kind of one of those, it's 5 different counts of like, okay, maybe he did this or maybe he didn't do that. So they got to read not guilty on all 5 counts if I had to guess. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to probably where things are going to get confusing and convoluted. You know what I mean?
reasonable doubt. Here, there's RICO and there's sex trafficking and there's all this other stuff.
Exactly.
So it's more complicated. It is just weird to me that they're coming in this quickly and this apparently unified, with the exception of one guy. It's kind of stunning to me.
Yeah, it is definitely different because it's like, bro, like, my thing is this, y'all just started and there's already issues. This is like, what, technically the first day?
Allie from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I think Diddy is going to be convicted on the RICO charge, particularly because he...
Bro, do I need to take her, like, no disrespect, her picture crooked, dog. Go ahead.
interfered his business and his personal gains for his personal gratification, for sexual gratification.
No.
Although this jury question is a bit concerning, I don't know. Are they hung on the reasonable doubt?
Well, the thing is, we don't know what this guy is doing.
Right, we don't know which way he's
I will
leaning.
say, just because the 11 people are saying he's not following instructions doesn't mean he's going to get kicked off. I mean...
Yeah, this is true, too, because I was thinking that, too. I'm like, if he's having a problem, he's going to kicked off. But, I mean, if he's following the instructions and they saying he's not, and just because they can't agree to disagree or whatever have you, they can't, the judge got to have, they would have a whole nother separate, like, day or two just to see why they need to have a valid reason, I think, to see why they need to kick this guy off. But the judge told him to go keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? He didn't kick him off, you know?
The judge is going to have a huge problem on appeal if he does that. Right. Because then it's going to look like, the trial was rigged.
Valid point right there, too. Valid one. So that's what I think about it, right? If he do kick the guy off, then they're going to ask for another mistrial. And it's like, well, we don't know what this guy's verdict, what the issue was. It should be a mistrial. And then guess what? They would have to reassemble, I would think, a whole nother jury. Now, that's going to be even harder because who doesn't know about this shit to the public to a certain extent? Because they're like, do you have any knowledge of this? You know, like, are you in this country? Yes or no? You have some knowledge whether you were there or not. Now, if you take it back to the YNW Melly case real quick, think about this too. Why do you think trial hasn't started back up yet for him? Because, I mean, it's who didn't watch that joint? And it was all over YouTube, you know, live. So, I don't, off mode, but on mode, I don't think Melly's going back to trial. I think they're going to have to cut him sometime. Something's got to be had, but it's going to be a long if he goes back to trial, it's going to be a long time.
Right. So
before he goes back to trial, I'm not saying doing time. Keep in mind, Melly's been locked down for 5 years plus. Throwing it out there, off mode, but on mode.
Judge is going to be very slow to get rid of this guy. They may do some clarification, but I would be stunned if at this point, this early on,
the judge got to send them back and say, work
Just
on this.
Keep working on it, guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can really do. You know, you just got to keep working on the joint and call it a day. I did not mean to click on that shit, but yeah. Here we are, man. Let me put myself back on the main screen, get ready to wrap this joint over, because I went a little bit longer than what I wanted to. But, you know, this trial intrigues me, so I am very curious what it is. But I've been on the joint for like an hour and 11 minutes, man. Let's go ahead and wrap things up here for the night. Basically just covered the Chris Brown case has been dismissed civilly but not criminally for that UK situation. More updates to come on that as well. Nicki Minaj speaks out on Rock Nation regarding pretty much the Perez lady's daughter is actually speaking out. And, you know, looks like Nicki Minaj is actually backing her, so we'll see how that goes as well. Me personally, I don't think it's going to go far, but again, I could be wrong. I wasn't there. And then we just close things out with the Diddy trial where deliberations have already had their, you know, people are already bumping heads in the jury room, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. But I would say this, if I had to guess what it does possibly mean, some of them are not agreeing and some of them are, and they are getting frustrated already. If anything, I would say there's probably frustration, right? Allegedly, right? If they're sending notes to the judge and what have you, right? But pretty much, man, yeah, pretty much that covers up the Diddy trial. More on the way on Music Monday. I'll be back live again on Wednesday with another Sold Out Live, another Sold Out podcast. Appreciate everybody coming through and showing love. Y'all smash that like button. Sub up to the channel if you're new and if you haven't done so already. Of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones. What I normally do is make content about sneakers, occasional trial hauls. And y'all know this is Music Monday. I'll see you guys again on Wednesday with Sold Out. Until then, I'll see you guys and more content on the way. And I'm officially out this thing, man. Peace.
December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is color December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. Yeah. remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Open my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die, let I know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die, let I know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December.